Hi guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel Pretty in Paper by B, where we are all about sharing the joy of pretty papers. Now for today's tutorial, I'm going to be walking you through how to make an ombre wall art using a very simple heart iris folding pattern, just like this one. Now this is about as easy as it gets when it comes to iris folding, so if you're looking for somewhere to start, you're in the right place. Everything you need is in the box down below, so grab your supplies, get comfy, and let's get crafting.
As you can see, I've got my craft supplies out ready for today's session, including the heart iris folding pattern PDF, which there is a link to in the box below. Now this piece of glitter card that I've just turned over is slightly smaller than A4, and I've put the measurements for this in the box below too. So we're going to be working from the back of this piece of card first, as we need to draw some grid lines to help us position our heart shapes evenly across the piece of card. So I'm putting some marks at 2.6, 8.3, 10.3 and 16 centimetres down these short edges. And I'm going to make sure I put the marks again the same on the other edge as well and draw them together using a ruler, and we will have some horizontal grid lines. Once your horizontal grid lines are in place, we're going to need to place some marks across the top and the bottom of the piece of card. This time at 2.1, 8.8, 10.4, 17.1, 18.8 and 25.5 centimetres. Now again, I've put the measurements and the numbers for these in the box below, so you don't need to remember them off by heart. So I'm going to put the marks along the top and the bottom of the card and then join them up to create some vertical grid lines. Once you've finished drawing your grid lines, I want you to grab the card template from your pattern PDF and cut out the heart shape in the middle. We're going to use this heart shape as a guide for drawing out the heart on our card base. So once you've got your heart shape ready, I want you to place it in each of the square boxes on the card and trace an outline of the heart. And you'll notice that the edges of the heart match onto the grid lines that we've drawn. So in total, you will have 6 hearts on your piece of card. Once you've finished drawing an outline, you should have 6 heart outlines on your piece of card, nice and evenly spaced, like this. Now it's time to cut out all your heart shapes, and for this you can use a cutting mat and a craft knife. So place the cutting mat underneath your piece of card and use a craft knife following the outline of your hearts that you've just drawn. Once you've cut out all 6 of your hearts, you will have 6 heart apertures ready for iris folding. Now it's time to prepare your pretty papers. So out of the 6 papers that you've chosen, I want you to cut about 4 strips of each pretty paper, approximately 2 centimetres wide, ready for your iris folding. Now you've got all your paper strips ready for the folding, it's time to begin. Now using the heart pattern, I want you to grab a couple of pieces of blue tack and place them on the back of the pattern. And we're going to use the blue tack to secure the pattern to the table, and this will just stop it moving throughout the iris folding process and keep it in place. Now we're going to do the same thing with the card base that we prepared earlier. So place a couple of pieces of blue tack on the glittery side of the piece of card and place over the pattern so you can see the lines and numbers through one of your heart apertures. Now usually for this next bit we would follow a pattern guide, but because today we are making each iris folding heart out of only one paper, you are just going to follow the numbers. Now from my first pretty paper, I'm going to fold over an edge of about 7mm wide just to create a bit of a clean edge to my paper. Then I'm going to cut a strip large enough to cover section 1 on my heart, but as you can see this strip is too wide as it's overlapping to that next heart window, so I'm just going to trim it down a little bit. Once you've made sure the strip is wide enough to cover section 1, I want you to secure in place with a couple of pieces of sticky tape. Again, make sure that folded edge of the paper strip is facing the centre of the design. Now you're going to work around your heart shape, placing the strips of the same coloured paper following the numbers on the heart shape. Once you've placed the final strip of your pretty papers and it's nice and secure, you need to choose a piece of glitter card or something a bit shiny to cover the hole in the middle. So I'm going to cut a square just larger than the hole in the centre and place the glitter card face down over the top of the hole, then secure in place with a couple more pieces of sticky tape. Once this is done, you need to move your card base so that you can see the iris folding pattern through the aperture of your next heart. And we're going to repeat the same process now for each of the heart on the design, changing the pretty paper for each heart. Once you've covered the iris of your final heart shape, you can turn over your wall art and look at all your beautiful iris folding hearts. What do you think, guys? I mean, I'm loving the pink ombre effect I've got going on here. I don't know what you guys think. Okay, so now it's time to cover the back of the messy folds. So on the reverse side, I want you to place some foam sticky pads around the edge of the card. Start with the corners and then place them approximately every 4 or 5 centimetres apart. Once you've peeled the backs off all your foam sticky pads, you can mount this to a piece of A4 card. Just position it centrally, so you've got a nice even border around the edge. And then it's ready for a frame, and you can use this as a piece of wall art to decorate a nursery, a living room, an office, anywhere you want to add a pop of colour. So I hope you've enjoyed today's tutorial, guys. Don't forget to like, subscribe and let me know what you think in the comments. See you next time.